Welcome to Bell City Amusements. We are one of the leading amusement Midway providers in the United States, with over 300 combined years of Midway experience. Bell City Amusements believes in trained employees, a higher quality Midway product, guest value, and premier customer service. Our goal is to go above and beyond the expectations of our guests and fair partners to provide an experience that will truly set us apart. Bell City Amusements is dedicated in creating the best and safest Midway experience in the industry. There is nothing more important than safety. That is why we have management solely dedicated to safety and customer service. Our employee customer service and safety training brings a whole new level of professionalism, consistency, and service to the Midway. Providing our employees with the best in safety and customer service skills is priority. Every employee is trained in safety and customer service prior to employment, regardless of their position. In order to provide the experience we expect for our guests, all employees must understand the importance of our general policies and procedures, which are to be followed at all times while on the job. Good personal hygiene is a must and reflects well on your image and that of Bell City Amusements and our fair partners.
You'll be expected to be in uniform at all times.
Your uniform consists of black jeans, black pants, or shorts. Baggy pants, spandex, leggings, short shorts, cargo pants are not allowed.
If you're wearing a hat, it must be a show hat. Your show shirt must be tucked in at all times on and off the Midway.
All jackets and sweatshirts must be show uniform.
Women with long hair should keep their hair pulled back neatly under a show hat.
Men must be clean shaven at all times, and mustaches must be neatly trimmed, and beards are not allowed.
Body piercing and jewelry is prohibited while on duty on the Midway.
Sunglasses should be worn only when necessary. Always remove them at dusk, and never wear them on your hat.
Sandals, Crocs, and flip-flops are not allowed and should never be worn while on duty.
Sensible, comfortable shoes or boots must be worn while on duty. ID tags must be worn on your shirt collar, on the opposite side of the company logo, and must be visible to the public at all times on the Midway.
Electronic devices, including your cell phone, are strictly prohibited while on duty.
Use your electronics only during your breaks. Do not bring any of your electronics to your ride or attraction. They are completely prohibited. They are a distraction and unsafe while on duty. Smoking and eating is not allowed at your ride or your food or games.
All smoking must remain off the Midway. Wait for your break and do it out of the public view.
The Health Department prohibits all employees from eating while on duty on our Midway. Our policy for alcohol and drug use is zero tolerance. Possession, sale, or use of any illegal drugs on company premises or being under the influence of drugs or alcohol at work are all serious offenses and result in the termination of your employment. You as an employee of Bell City Amusements will be subject to pre-employment and thereafter random drug testing. If anyone wants to film or interview you or any fellow employees, you must remember that you are not a spokesperson for our Midway. All media requests, interviews, or filming on our Midway, including photography, must be approved by our management. A Midway representative must be present for all interviews and filming. Please be advised that TV cameras and video equipment is prohibited on the rides unless it is authorized by our management. If you or a fellow employee is approached by the media, please politely let them know that you are not a spokesperson and direct them to our Midway office or guest services for assistance. Thank you for joining Bell City Amusements. We look forward to a safe and successful season. No matter where you work on the Midway or what your specific duties are, the safety of our guests and employees is our #1 priority. Every one of us share in the responsibility of maintaining the safety standards of our Midway operations. The safety and comfort of our guests depend on the performance of each employee in a drug and alcohol-free environment. Every department within our company has safety procedures that you will be trained to follow every day. Please pay full attention at all times to your attraction and surroundings.
Be alert of flying objects at all times.
Games have darts, balls, glass bottles, plates, and even water, and it is our job to always create a safe, fun environment for our guests.
Inspect your prize to make sure there are no holes and there are no stock hooks still attached. In case of inclement weather, including high winds, please be familiar with the emergency procedures of your attraction.
It is required that everyone reports any unsafe conditions or incidents. Incidents must be reported immediately to your supervisor, Midway office, or guest services. If and when an emergency or incident occurs, get in contact with Midway management or guest services immediately. Be sure to listen to the guest, be patient and polite, do not panic. Help is on the way. We are all the face of our traveling Midway. Thousands of people observe us every day. Showing up to work on time, being clean and neatly groomed, and in full uniform shows our guests and management that you care about your job and this company.
We are expected to be in full uniform at all times.
Our uniform consists of closed-toe shoes, approved black pants or shorts, a clean company shirt buttoned up and tucked in, your company jacket, your identification displayed with your name visible, worn on your shirt collar on the opposite side of the logo, and always wear a company hat and men are to be shaven every day. Please be advised that we do not allow shirt sleeves to be rolled or folded up, and at sundown, all sunglasses must be removed. We prohibit all fashion accessories such as big fashion belt buckles, pins, and badges on our uniforms. We prohibit all visible piercings, and it is important that you are in full uniform at all times, including when you arrive at the office at the beginning of your shift. During setup and teardown, it is required that all employees wear the company safety t-shirts at all times. When wearing uniform windbreakers and jackets on chilly days, please remember that our regular uniform shirt or uniform sweatshirts must be worn underneath your uniform jacket. If you have any questions about our uniform policies, please check with your supervisor or visit our personnel office. We want our employees to provide the very best customer service. We want our customers to arrive at the Midway and be provided with instant convenience, quick key lines, and a warm greeting with out-of-this-world customer service. We want them to love their experience on our Midway. Remember to use your manners and show your professionalism at all times. For example, while serving a guest, give the guest your full attention and refrain from speaking over or through these guests to fellow employees. Going the extra mile will make a big impression on them and their overall experience on our Midway. From welcoming our guests to the fair and to your game, by saying hello and asking if they need assistance, to asking if they would like to play again or have enjoyed their day at the fair, and finally by thanking them for visiting our Midway and playing our games. Give the guests the experience they deserve by making each win exciting and rewarding. Communication, professional appearance, exciting prizes, manners, and a smile are the key to a great transaction and repeat guests. Take every opportunity to serve guests and perform in an efficient, safe manner at all times. If your game or attraction requires you to speak on a microphone, please only speak to guests and promote your game on the microphone. If you need to speak to your supervisor or fellow employees, please remove the microphone. Please set your volume on your sound system to an appropriate level and respect other games and attractions surrounding you. It is of high importance that each employee is familiar with the locations of the first aid, fire extinguishers, the nearest restroom, and guest and fare information centers at each event we entertain. We have a Midway office and guest services on the Midway. Our guest services or Midway office can handle any guest concerns or information they may need. For example, lost and found, ticket information, Midway and fare information, directions to all attractions, dissatisfied guests, and more. When an item is found or left on the Midway or at one of the attractions, whether it is a cell phone, wallet, or keys, please turn them into guest services or our Midway office immediately, or let your supervisor know that you have these items so that we can get these items back to our guests promptly. Our guest services are also in communication with all Midway supervisors, first aid, and security. Please feel free to direct any of our guests to guest services or our Midway office. Please be patient and polite and try to assist those who have problems speaking English. In the case of a dissatisfied guest or incident, we need to be sure that our guest services is contacted and is responding to the guest concerns. If and when an emergency or incident occurs, get in contact with Midway management or guest services immediately. Be sure to listen to the guest, be patient and polite, do not panic. Help is on the way. You as an employee may be exposed to very frustrated guests, and it is important that you keep a professional, positive attitude.
We take the rules of the games very seriously. We have a zero-tolerance policy for misleading the guest and fraud.
Offensive language will not be tolerated.
Guests should never be pressured into playing the games.
While working on the Midway, you must remain in your game or your game area at all times. No free games are to be offered to lure any customers into your game.
Treat everyone with courtesy and respect. We prohibit any discrimination or harassment. Our guests have high service expectations, and there is no reason that any guest should leave our Midway unhappy. It is important that our Midway be clean at all times. If you see trash or a mess, assist in picking it up or contact someone so we can ensure a safe and clean environment.
All games must be clean at all times. Be sure all hoses and cables are safely placed. All canvases and trailers must be washed, and all prizes must be new, clean, and displayed professionally.
Counters need to be free of debris. All stock boxes and bags must be kept out of the public's view. Please be sure that all stock boxes are collapsed and taken to the appropriate bins. Be sure to ask your supervisor about recycling bins for cardboard. All garbage needs to go into the dumpster. Always have good posture and pay full attention to our guests.
We prohibit smoking and eating in our games. We also prohibit anyone from sitting on our counters.
Our policy for alcohol and drug use is zero tolerance. Possession, sale, or use of any illegal drugs on company premises or being under the influence of drugs or alcohol at work are all serious offenses and result in the termination of your employment. You as an employee of Bell City Amusements will be subject to pre-employment and thereafter random drug testing.
Electronic devices, including your cell phone, are strictly prohibited while on duty.
Cell phones and other electronic equipment provide distractions that prevent each employee from doing their job. We have a zero tolerance policy for cell phones and other electronic equipment on our Midway and in our games. We are a non-smoking Midway. During operating hours, all employees must be off the Midway and out of the public's eye when smoking. Please be advised that all employees and management are required to pay for all food and drinks from our concessions. Our work hours, operating hours, and the weather are subject to change from day to day. Be sure you are knowledgeable about the daily promotions. Please take your required breaks to prevent fatigue on the job. Get away from your attraction, relax, and re-energize. Do not disturb other employees during your break as they must concentrate to perform their job safely. Lastly, we can't emphasize enough that a positive attitude and paying attention to your surroundings at all times are the ingredients in giving our guests a safe and wonderful experience. If your mind wanders, you will likely miss an opportunity to provide a service to a guest, but even more importantly, you could overlook a situation which could result in an unnecessary incident. Your suggestions, ideas, and concerns matter to us. If you have a question or anything you would like to discuss, please feel free to speak to your supervisor. Thank you for joining Bell City Amusements. We look forward to a safe and successful season.